Hey foodies, for this Meatless Monday, of course you're going to start with roasting the mushrooms. So I'm using just baby portobello and regular white button mushrooms. Tossed them in some olive oil and some black pepper. Set the oven to 425 and I'm going to roast these for about 15 or 20 minutes. You don't have to worry about how you cut them because we're going to be putting them in the blender, so it doesn't matter if they're kind of bigger like this. Meanwhile, get my ingredients together. I'm using beef stock and some garlic and some shallots, which is like an onion garlic thing. They're delicious. Butter, some thyme and rosemary. That's right. I'm not going to say it the other way, Mark. Okay. Some heavy cream, 1/4. 2 tablespoons of white wine. I use Chardonnay in my cooking, and those are my cooking wines. I believe in using the wines, not the vinegars. A couple tablespoons of flour and some salt. And of course, the actual recipe ingredients are in the description box below. So now my mushrooms have been roasted. It's been about 15-20 minutes. This smells so good. I don't know why JR hates cooked mushrooms. Like, I just don't understand. He's missing out. I really believe that. So now I'm putting the mushrooms in the blender and I'm taking a cup of the stock and adding it in there. Of course you can use veggie stock, you can use chicken stock, you could use water. I would use veggie stock though if you're doing a vegan style or vegetarian style. And I'm putting the blender on high. And we just want to kind of make it into mushroom mush. That's all. I like mine a little mushier, yeah, like chunkier. So now I'm melting my butter in my pot. I took some Barkeeper's Friend to my pot today to get rid of those scorch marks, and it did a really good job. I was gonna buy the pink stuff off of like seeing it all hyped up on TikTok. I guess it's a really amazing cleaner, but they keep gouging the price on Amazon, so I'm rebelling and sticking to my Barkeeper's Friend, and it worked really well. So didn't get rid of all of it, but this is a cast iron pot covered in ceramic. I don't think it ever will be completely scorch free. Anyway, now that my butter's melted, I'm adding my shallots and I'm gonna stir all those up, saute them for a little bit, and we're gonna add the garlic coming up pretty soon. Hear all that traffic in the background? It's like rush hour. So there's the garlic. I'm doing this one-handed again, no tripod Monday as well. And I'm adding again thyme and rosemary. Letting that cook up in the butter for just a second there before I go ahead and add some salt. Kosher salt is best, and some pepper, but use whatever salt you have on hand. If you use regular table salt though, go easy on it. And here's 2 tablespoons of the white wine to deglaze the pan. Yes, you want to get up all that stuff, although there really isn't any stuff. So now I'm adding the flour to make a sort of a roux. I mean, it's just going to thicken it all up to give it that creamier consistency without having to use a ton of cream. Now I've added my mushroom mush from the blender, and then I poured the rest of the broth in the blender just to get all the rest of the little bits and pieces out of there. And like I said, I like my soup a little chunky, but if you want yours to be even smoother or creamier, once it's come to a boil and the mushrooms have softened up, you can use an immersion blender or go ahead and put this back into your bigger blender and just puree it even further. So then it's more like the stuff that comes out of the can that this blows away anyway in terms of taste. So now I'm just adding the rest of the little bit of the cream, just a smidgen, just enough to give it some flavor and some body, but not be too dairy-licious. But you can absolutely substitute with almond milk or any type of non-dairy that you would like. I don't suggest coconut milk though. And here's the final thing. I'm putting some parsley to go with that thyme and rosemary. What's missing? Put it in the comments if you know. Enjoy this. It's amazing.